Welcome back to RatAttack, everybody. Today we're playing more Raincode. Woo! So, it's more or less implied right now that Yako's the guy who did it, which is, well, we anticipated it, but it's also very sad and scary. Oh no.
I just more want to know why.
Yeah, I'm very curious his motive, because as we have it right now, it makes no sense why he would do it. Oh, this guy's gonna kill Dr. Huesca. Oh no, I better beat him to it.
The only justification I could think of is that
if he's trying to make use of the Mystery Labyrinth to kill
Yomi.
I mean,
if Yomi stabbed him at the end there.
I guess. Why not just do something else to get him to stab him then? And then make it obvious.
Maybe Dr. Huesca needed to go too. I don't know. Well, and honestly, we might not even find out why. That might be
maybe not till the end of the game or something.
Right.
You're right that no one in the lab died from that toxic gas.
But that was part of the culture.
That was good. You got like just the right amount of loser in there.
What? That was just my normal voice.
Oh, okay.
They planned to distort the facts of their death.
Yuma, are you sure you want to face the truth? Your world will fall apart. The world.
We've only been here for like a week and a half at this point. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it cannot have been long.
We talked to Yako like 3 combined times. And it was always him mad at us because we screwed everything up.
Right. Which we might still be doing here.
Piece of these nuts.
It's not even worth debating. Best you can do to refute it.
You could do to refute it.
Just give up and die.
So we're trying to repel something?
There's nothing to repel yet. I'm repel the hitman. Did I repel the hitman because he didn't do it? I think.
He at least didn't kill Huesca.
Yeah, he could have killed Yako.
Represented their death by using the hitman.
Okay, and that's why it got sent to the detective agency, and also why it got sent to the Peacekeepers.
So we all had reason to be there. Which it's interesting that it got sent to the Peacekeepers too, which would mean you probably wanted Yomi there too.
And it's interesting, didn't this get sent like 3 days ago? So this is something, if Yako's the one who sent the letters, he was planning this.
Yeah. All to kill Huesca.
This all seems so pre-planned. It's like kind of crazy.
I imagine it really is.
Their plan would be exposed if someone in the lab.
Did Makoto get a letter too?
Do what?
Did Makoto get a letter, or did he just hear about it?
He didn't know about it because we showed up here with him and we found out.
Oh, right. Okay.
So they used the hitman to cover up their own death.
Used the hitman?
Meaning, the hitman wasn't hired to assassinate the doctor.
Hired to assassinate Yako?
They were hired to cover up the culprit's death by toxic gas.
Oh, so did Yako hire the hitman to kill himself? Like him? Like Yako?
I guess.
Maybe?
Huh? The hitman's target was the culprit? Not the doctor?
That's so. I'm still like, what's the point?
The doctor was stabbed by the knife with the inscribed F. Doesn't that belong to the hitman?
No, it's. I mean, he could have gotten one from the hitman, but it's Furio.
All we need is a similar knife. The story of Fink the slaughter artist using a knife inscribed with the letter F is well known.
That's why I didn't know about it, and no one else ever knew about it.
Right.
We leave it alone until we receive further orders. Did you see the knife stuck in his back?
Oh yeah, because these guys wanted to like sell it.
It's
Or
the
one
one
of them
that
did.
Fink the slaughter
Yeah.
artist uses, right? I've heard about his knives inscribed with the letter F.
So it was all a ruse?
You know-
The culprit made it look like the hitman did it?
A part of this case that still doesn't make sense, but now I'm not so sure they're going to go back and elaborate on it much.
What?
So, Dr. Huesca's plan was to ambush the person that came in to save him so that he could kill them, mutilate their body, and then escape himself.
By making it look like he was the one that got killed.
So why in the world would he not be facing the door when Yako walked in?
I still think he could have, and there was just a bit of a fight.
Yeah, but you'd think you'd hear it, like...
Well, no.
Well, actually, no, I still want to know the explanation for the blood under him. Was he already dead when he went in there?
So, Yako's on the robot,
Yeah.
jumps in, kills him, leaves.
Yes.
My guess is either one, they did fight a little bit,
Okay.
or two, I mean, you always see in like movies and stuff, no matter where people get stabbed, there's always some blood that comes out of the mouth. So it's
We could see
possible.
his mouth.
What?
We could see his mouth. I don't think there was blood on...
I thought he had like a little bit of blood coming out.
I don't think on Dr. Huesca's mouth.
Really? I thought there was.
I don't remember, but I don't remember thinking it was...
But even still, like, it could have just dripped down his back to the front.
There's no drip marks.
Well, then I don't know. The game's probably just being stupid.
Well, I'm just trying to think a little deeper into it. Like, what I'm insinuating is, was he already dead? Because, I mean, there's blood on the ground beneath him, which doesn't make sense with the stab wounds on his back. Like, none of the blood even trails off onto the floor that you see, you know?
Right. I mean, could it, like, trail, like, just through the clothes and not show up on the lab coat? I wouldn't think so. That'd be kind of a stretch.
It's a lot of blood, too, beneath them. I don't know. And then also, like I said, if he was planning to kill the person that walked in the door, gee, maybe I should look at the door. Why wasn't there a vial of whatever... Well, what was the poison? Not the poison.
Hydrochloric acid?
Was it that? I thought it was sulfuric acid, I think.
Oh, whatever one melts.
Why wasn't there a bottle of that in, like, his hand? Or anywhere? I mean, that's not something you can just dump out real quick and hide, you know?
No, because it'd melt.
It'd be in, like, a beaker somewhere.
It'd have to be in a special container, I think.
Yeah, and why didn't we find something like that when we were investigating?
Maybe Yako covered it all up so we wouldn't figure it out or something? I don't know.
Maybe, but he has, like, 10 seconds to do this?
It's not too many. If just, grab the vial, leave.
Oh, you think he maybe took it with him? That could make more sense.
But still, I do wonder if it maybe was just not accounted for.
I don't know. We'll find out.
Or we won't.
Stop.
Or we won't.
Stop, 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 stop! You useless garbage!
I'm not useless. I'm doing more than you.
To
Yeah.
hell with detectives and the truth! I won't let you have your way in my city! There is no real culprit! Dr. Huesca was killed by the hitman!
Oh, okay, that's all I wanted. And then we leave. And we asked to be let go.
Probably.
Huh? What's going on? Who's the real culprit?
I wonder if this is going to require us to use that emergency exit thing, or if that's something that might come up next case.
I'm sure we'll use it eventually.
There's no way they mention that and then don't use it.
The real culprit. The real culprit is...
The time has finally come, Yuma. It's time for you to acknowledge what you've known all along. If the tiny crack spreads any further, the mirror will shatter, exposing the chaos.
I do feel
of
like we're
real
looking at like the
world.
actual like walls of the mystery labyrinth here.
Yeah, this feels much more like it's not an illusion. This is what it's actually supposed to look like, sort of thing.
Or maybe the best way we could comprehend it. You know, like kind of
Like
one
brain
of those.
fog, like literal,
Right.
like dread, and just. I mean, if it goes off of the
Because I assume it's
Yuma's
like
head,
it must be kind of eldritch, where it's like. Okay, you told me not to make obscure video game references, so I'm not going to.
you can, I guess. It's just no one's gonna know what you're talking about.
Well, it's like one of those things that, like a Schrodinger's cat type thing,
okay.
where it's like only really confirmed existence when you're looking at it. Otherwise, it's like just wild energy that loosely exists, and it's through Yuma's mind it's made more tangible.
I've always loved theories and like science like that.
Knowing this,
He actually hated that.
will
Did you know that?
still expose the truth?
Who, Schrodinger?
Apparently, he was like, "Is the cat alive if it's in the box, but you can't see it?" And he's like, "Obviously it is," or something like that.
Was that actually it?
So I read something like that. Just that he didn't like. The point was to like not like the idea is like, oh, is the cat alive or not? You don't know. He was saying yes, it is,
Yeah.
which is true. So
I mean, as far as we know.
yeah,
Then, show me your conviction.
The clues pointing to the identity of the hitman's target. I know. I've known all along.
well, you really could have saved us some time here.
Expose the truth. Do it.
What if it's just like a
You
little
want to
dialogue thing
burn
he
the
says
world
briefly in
down.
his head at the beginning of the case is, I'm pretty sure Yako did it. No, I don't think so.
Well, one thing I want to point out is what does this burn the world down?
I think he's more just talking about
Like Yuma's world?
Yuma's world. Like, no, the despair you'll fall into if you learn the truth.
Yeah, if this was Danganronpa, we would have heard the word despair like 30 times in this case.
Now despair. Defeat Yomi with a key. This is interesting. What was the clue leading to the true culprit? Okay, so let's read all of these. So, missing file. There are mostly old research logs in the storage room managed by Peacekeeper Director Yomi, but a section of the files on the shelf is missing. Whatever he didn't want others to see has already been disposed of. Then we have this photo, and I'm pretty sure that's Yako in there.
Yeah, it has the same kind of skinny face.
A photo of a young man and woman. The woman is wearing a white lab coat. Perhaps she's a researcher at the lab. The man cannot be recognized because the bloodstains on the picture.
Would the missing file be like something that showed a relationship between Yako and the person in the photo?
I don't know. I do think it's still weird that the map, which was supposedly hidden by Yako as far as we know, is in a room that only Yomi has access to.
That's like a blueprint map, though. Not just a map. That's like, you know.
Yeah. Isn't it odd, though? Like, how did Yako get that?
Right.
And then
unless Yomi was in on it.
The death threat was sent not only to the target, Dr. Huesca, but also to the Peacekeepers and the Nocturnal Detective Agency. However, according to Vivia's investigation, there has never been a case where Fink the Slaughter Artist issued a death threat. Perhaps the current case is special.
Either that one or photo.
I mean, the photo has his picture, so I'm guessing it's this one.
Right.
I mean, what else really ties it to this place? Unless it's like some deep Yako backstory stuff that makes him want to kill Dr. Huesca.
Right.
It's like my only other thing that really makes me think him. Here you go. Do we get to see the real photo?
That'd be cool.
The bloodstains photo found in the hallway near the lab. There was a person pictured with a woman.
What if you take off the blood and it's Desahika?
I wish.
Like
I wish.
The face shape changes and everything, and he's still way taller than her, and it's so disproportionate.
That was the hitman's target. The real culprit behind this case. The blood obscured the person's face, but I know who it is. It could only be one person.
Gonna make me select it?
It could only be...
How do you know? That person in the photo is the hitman's target. And who is it?
It's...
No! Stop!
Why is he acting like he's sad? Like, no, Yako, I loved him!
Maybe he did have something going on with Yako.
Maybe they were like co-conspirators or partners or something.
Yeah.
Don't you dare say another word! No one wants the truth!
I don't understand, but...
I'm with you, girl.
Luck, Master! I'm always by your side, haunting you!
Oh, thanks.
Oh, they really have, like, different ones here. Is that Fink?
They didn't have to make them all look so stupid.
Yeah.
Alright, well, who's the true culprit? Alright.
It's not even the same clothes.
I know. So...
It's gotta be Fink.
It's gotta be... Well, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna... I wanted to, like, go, so why do we know it's Yako again? But no, we just know it's Yako.
Yeah. I thought he just flew into nothing.
God. Hey, that's interesting. Why is... Okay. I thought the whole, like, mystery labyrinth was gonna, like, crumble.
I guess there's no castle we're storming here.
There's still more...
Oh, I see.
Chief. Yako.
Yeah, I want to say there's still some more clues here.
Is there?
The stuff with Dr. Huesca's death is still super, like, I don't know if that adds up.
Huh? Why? Why is Fuzzhead here?
Submarine got way bigger.
Chief Yako was the only person attacked by the hitman in the lab. In other words, the Chief was the hitman's target. But Chief Yako tried to hide that photo by tossing it behind the houseplant. He hid it knowing it'd be an important clue. And that's because the person in the photo is Chief Yako himself. It was given to the hitman so he'd know his target, and the Chief tried to conceal it.
Okay.
Which means the blood covering the face on the photo was likely done on purpose.
Hold on, Master! Are you serious? You're really saying...
Well, I like this.
It's a good twist.
It hits way harder than... It was a Cardi! What?
We're just gonna forget that one, because that's not important.
But even like, it was the priest! I was like, whatever.
I still did like the one with the 3 girls a lot.
The 3 girls was pretty dang good.
I'd say that's like second best to this one.
Yeah, and then Zilch was... It was interesting still. Like, Zilch was cool, even though it wasn't Zilch. That's what made it even more cool.
Right.
Really? I don't buy it. You think he actually put together this elaborate murder?
No,
Still a detective,
just kidding.
dude.
Huh?
Like, he's still a detective. He knows his stuff.
He is a smart cookie.
And he was a solo
Knocking on
detective
death's
here.
door just for this?
Yeah, if they sent a guy with no power to, like...
Well, didn't he say all those other, like, coworkers died and stuff?
Something like that. I don't really remember.
I thought he did, which would kind of, like, speak to him, like, oh, he must be good at surviving then, you know?
Yeah, he must be quite skilled. But if the WDO sent him here, of all places, with no power or anything,
Also,
he has to be pretty dang good.
Is her hand glowing?
Yeah, I noticed that. I wasn't quite sure what was going on with that.
I don't want to believe it either, but there's no other way.
Is this gonna be like, now I have to use the emergency exit so I don't reap his soul or something?
Maybe.
But he's gonna die either way a little bit, so...
I don't know if it makes a
Don't forget
difference.
this stuff.
Oh my, we're still fighting you? Go away! The anemic vampire is gonna throw questions at you back to back. Press the correct button when you think you got the correct answer. You'll take damage if you avoid all assailing assaults.
Like, if you don't answer.
Okay, so I need to...
Do we need a tutorial for this? We've done the mini games
I need
before.
to press it when it's the correct answer. Yes, I do. Why do you love him so
Phantom
much?
Vanished. The truth has been mostly exposed, and the labyrinth cannot function much longer. Anything I do now might not matter, but I'll do it anyway. Because it's something I must do.
Why is your box cutter so big all of a sudden?
While the chief takes his final breaths.
Vivia.
Yuma. If Chief Yako is the culprit, then what about that death threat?
Dr. Huesca must pay for his sins with his life. My blade shall be his atonement. To throw us off?
Why would the chief send it? If he was the killer? Answer me, Yuma.
Why did Yako send the death threat?
So we could all be here.
Make it seem like the doctor was in danger? Nah. No, he didn't want anyone to stop it, I don't think.
Right.
No, we don't need... Oh.
That's not the reason.
Did you press it?
No, I didn't hit any of them. So it has to be one of those 3. Okay, let's see. It wasn't to scare the doctor, I don't think. Or maybe it
Why would
was.
the chief send it?
It could have been.
Because the doctor
If
did
he was the killer.
decide to come up with his leaving plan.
Answer me.
What were the other ones?
Yuma.
We'll see.
What's this first one?
That one.
Sure, that works. Whoa. I could not do that in real life.
He's like actually gonna stab us and be like, wait, that's not what I meant.
Everyone would believe the doctor's life was in danger, which was necessary for this sequence of events to take place. All the master detectives headed to the secret lab.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because of that note. Chief Yako brought them here to take advantage of their abilities and murder the doctor.
Yeah, I guess it really makes sense how he knew we would send the robot in there and then use Fubuki. He probably predicted like we were going to do all that.
He needed Desuhiko for the disguises.
The smart little guy over there.
Yep.
Huh? Their abilities?
But the death threat wasn't sent just to the detectives.
Yeah, why did he want
The
Yomi
peacekeepers
and
received
them
it
here?
too.
Like that I don't get as
What was
much.
the point of that? Why put them on high alert?
And how did he know the
What's
layout?
the truth behind it all?
Why was the death threat? No.
Oh, probably to use the disguise then.
Well, to incite chaos, that makes some sense.
Chief,
I don't know. You think it's the first one?
The second one kind of made sense to me.
Because you can disguise either way.
I think it's the one that to incite chaos and make everyone confused and messy.
Yeah, the chaos one seems the
What's
most.
the point of that?
Okay, can I
Why
skip
put them
this?
on high alert? What is the truth behind it all?
So not disguise. All right. Yeah, I think the second one sounded the most.
Right.
Oh, that was not right. So the third one. What was the third one?
Whatever. Did he need to be disguised as a peacekeeper for
The death
anything?
threat wasn't sent just to the detectives.
He was.
The
I mean,
peacekeepers
peacekeepers would have
received it
been
too.
here either way.
Or at least the
the point
lab
of
coat
that?
disguise. Could have just done
Why
that.
put them on high alert?
Yeah.
What is the truth behind
It's
it
definitely
all?
going to be the first one, and we're going to get so annoyed about it.
Why is it the first one? Okay, not that one. Sight chaos. Okay, what's the third one? To get arrested after.
Yeah,
it
that's
must
not
be
right.
disguised then. Whatevs. Well, obviously, I think it's to disguise. Oh, look, it's right there. Convenient.
The fact that this is the first answer twice is weird.
The note was sent to the Peacekeepers because they were also part of the plan. When the Peacekeepers received the note, they dispatched a lot of their personnel to the scene.
Okay.
The master detectives were able to take advantage of the commotion to enter the facility.
That's the chaos thing we said on the second one.
To get them all
Did it by
inside.
disguising themselves as peacekeepers.
It would be convenient to have a lot of peacekeepers around.
I think the chaos
if you
one
wanna
works
get
too,
into
but
the
yeah,
lab
okay.
disguised
Yeah, like
as
tomato,
one.
tomato, but okay.
This is why the Peacekeepers also received the death threat.
I wonder when we're gonna see number one.
Hey, you still wanna
Might
do
not,
this?
I don't know.
It's not too late to give up.
I am well aware of the danger. I haven't gotten this much exercise in a long time. But this is something I must do.
I never noticed he's
Why?
not wearing a shirt.
I can't leave the
That's
chief
true.
like this.
He like just has a bunch of rags.
He knows he's emo boy.
Let's continue, Yuma. So, everyone disguised themselves as
We're gonna get this one
peacekeepers
first try.
and entered the lab.
Definitely.
You were already at the lab, and that's where you met up with the chief, right?
Sure.
Yes, but we decided to split up after the blackout occurred.
Wait! That blackout should have caused a commotion. If we leave now, the Peacekeepers will see us.
Okay. Now, there's still other pieces I'm curious about. One, how did Yako get the map? Two, what's the blackout for? Just to cause a commotion and, like, let Yako go and do his thing? Like, I don't know.
I knew it.
How did he do the blackout? He was
crawling
with
with them.
us.
Might have been Fink just to get in.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It could have been Fink.
Because he's still hanging out doing stuff.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
I'll draw their attention to buy some time. In the meantime, you two hurry to that doctor.
The chief said he'd buy us some time, but he actually went and hid inside the airlock.
You didn't buy us any time at all, that
Was
screwball.
the blackout part of the plan? So the one who caused it,
Had to have been Fink then, because Yako was with us.
was that
Alright.
also the chief?
Okay. I'm glad we answered that before this popped up.
It's got to be Fink. Nope.
Dr. Huesca did it!
Nope. Please be Fink. We're gonna look so dumb. There.
Yeah! Screw you, Vivian!
The chief
Fink
was
is just
with
like
me
getting
in the
away with
security
murder
room
this
at
time
the time of the
around.
blackout.
Yeah, it's like, this is easy.
It's impossible for him to have caused it. So the only person it could be is the hitman. It must have been part of the job. He instructed the hitman to cause a blackout at a specific time.
Where'd you get all the money to hire the hitman to do this, like, high scale of a job?
Who knows?
Why?
It made us think that
Put his
Doctor
life
was in
savings
danger,
on the line.
so we'd go check on him. We used Amapal and Fortes to get through the tight security system. Chief Yako had it all planned out from the start. He used us to break through the security.
It
so
must
he
have
could
something to
kill
do with
the
his
doctor.
relationship with that woman that let him know the layout of this.
The doctor must have done something to her. Or it was like a daughter he, like, forbid Yako from seeing, but took some extreme measure or something.
Oh, maybe it could be like his daughter or something. And that's why he's like a shut-in also and hates this place.
Right. But Yako must have held Huesca responsible for something that happened to her.
Maybe. There was something else I was thinking of. I forgot it.
It'll come back to you. Maybe.
How do you know the layout of this place? And how did he get the
The girl
map?
had a lab coat on, so he might have been here before.
Yeah, but how do you
Master
get the
using
map?
Amapal?
I
He
thought
sheltered Skank's time
I thought he
revolving
only
around
locked
the
himself
battle
up in
chamber?
here. Mr. What's his name? Dr. Huesca? Like,
Oh, well, the blackout might have unlocked the door. He might have just grabbed it.
that could...
Also,
well,
it might have been Fink who had that map.
That could be maybe be true.
Because Fink had that picture, right? So he knew who would kill whoever. So maybe Fink was instructed to give him the map in the picture after he stabbed him.
I don't know.
That'd be my guess.
That was all part of Fuzzhead's plan?
The only way to get past security was to use both Amapal and that Forte. The chief knew we'd figure that out.
I think it's more like he trusted us. He trusted that we would arrive at that conclusion.
I'm counting on you both. See you later.
Trust? How could this be a trust thing? He was clearly taking advantage of you all. He gathered the master detectives using a fake death threat, then used their fortes to commit murder. What a scumbag! He used it all to get away with murder!
This is probably how I'd feel a little bit in the moment, too, honestly.
She's not wrong, but I really want to know why he did it.
Yeah, give us a good reason.
Because it doesn't strike me as like, I'm so evil, I need to kill Dr. Huesca.
It's a crime of passion for sure.
Yeah, something.
Master, grab that coward and...
Enough!
Boom, kill him. No! He's got Boogie running down.
Did he?
Yeah, in his portrait.
Why did it have to come to this? Chief Yako saved me.
He needed you.
Took me in. I had lost everything. Even my memories.
Now you're gonna lose him too.
Sure, he may have been a little pushy at times, but still, I really admired him.
I don't know why.
So, why?
His nicotine addiction spoke volumes to me.
Why did you do it? Is this about the woman in the picture? Chief, please tell me! Or
There's no point in asking. That's just a mystery phantom. It's not the real Fuzzhead.
It might be.
I mean, if he's like on his way out,
Right.
his spirit could have been like, hey, I'm gonna go in here real quick.
Master, watch out!
Huh.
The
Even in his
phantoms
prime, he still didn't
are
have a proper
reflection of
haircut.
The same people in the real world, right? Which means he should hold the same thoughts. The photo behind the houseplant. I don't know what the chief was hiding, but that photo must have been dropped by the hitman after he was done with it.
Okay, so the hitman probably had the map too then. And he probably used the blackout to get into that building, or that room.
Could have been.
The chief picked it up and used his own blood to obscure the face.
Unless it's kind of like one of your early theories of it being like Yomi is the hitman or something.
Right.
He knew the truth would be exposed.
I don't think that's the case anymore, though.
Yeah.
So he hid it behind the potted plant.
Also, not to like break up the moment, but how are we going to get out of this once we're back? Like, I don't really want another like Deus Ex Machina thing. I'd like to see a real consequence for what we got into.
Right. I don't know.
He left his blood on
Maybe
it.
we're going to go to jail after this.
Almost like
That'd be
he
cool.
wrote a dying message. But in
I mean, we
truth,
did help a guy get away with
it was
murder.
actually a secret he wanted to keep hidden.
And we did help a guy before that set off terrorist bombings across town.
Yeah.
And murder.
Like, in a normal, like, justice system, Yuma would have been arrested forever ago.
Yeah.
Master, I think you know this, but to exit the mystery labyrinth, you will have to eliminate the culprit.
Eliminate? The chief?
He's already dying, so...
Are you really going to do this?
Okay.
After all the mysteries are solved, the chief back in the real world will die.
He's already dying.
But you saw yourself, Yuma. The chief is already knocking
Plus, he
on
wanted
death's
us to
door.
find the truth, it sounded like.
I don't think he would have said, like, no, don't do it. This is also, like, a nice, quick death. He's probably still, like, choking on, like, gas and bleeding out at the same time and
Yeah.
all sorts of things.
I mean, if his spirit was leaving his body.
What if he's already dead?
Yeah.
Like, what if we try to reap the soul and it's just like, nope? That'd be a good way to kind of cheat the system here, you know?
I was going to say something. I completely don't know what it was now.
Will you still bury him in the name of truth?
It still just seems weird, like Vivia, they all have such weird freaking names. When we were in the spirit world thing, and then Yako spoke, he was like, find the truth, whatever, you know, because he wanted us to find the truth.
Yeah.
Vivia was like, that must be his soul departing from his body, and then we went back and he was still alive. So is that just his soul almost leaving his body? Is
Like,
that what
it's
that
like-
was, or is there a different explanation for that?
I don't know. It's also spiritual. It's really hard to find, like, a solid, this is how it works.
Yeah, there's no mathematical answer. Oh no, my 6 memories of him.
God forbid!
Or anyone to turn to. I trusted him from the bottom of my heart.
And this is what he did to you.
Now, I have to...
And look what he did!
I'm just saying, you know.
You know, I liked it, surprisingly.
What?
The little bit of peace and quiet I found at the Nocturnal Detective Agency.
Who's gonna become the new chief? Can it please be Halara? I don't want anyone else.
Yeah, Halara's the only fit person for it.
You knew the truth behind this case from the very
Can we make it
beginning.
Fubuki?
Terrible idea.
I had a hunch. Because of my spectral projection, I knew the chief had been planning something for quite some time.
How? I saw his soul was angry.
We might just be watching him.
I pretended not to see. I admired him and the world he had made.
That's why you threatened me, and were so uncooperative in the investigation.
I knew you would reach the truth eventually, Yuma. But I tried my best to keep you away. Exposing the truth won't save anyone. Neither the chief nor you.
Master, you've already come this far. You've got to finish this. What'll happen to the other master detectives if you die here? Didn't you say you wanted to expose the truth and save everyone?
Yeah, I am very curious what'll happen when we leave.
Fia, you told me that the time would come when I'd have to prove my conviction. The conviction to accept the truth, no matter how cruel it may be.
We're about to reap that man so much.
I'm gonna kill this guy so hard right now.
Yeah.
Now is that time, isn't it?
Yes, and yet you intend to continue. If you're prepared for it.
Hey! You better not get in Master's way again!
Yuma, do you remember when the Chief's soul called out to us?
Yes, it's been on my mind forever.
Yep.
Yeah, the truth is cruel. Never in history has the truth been known to be kind. But you know what? Turning your eyes away from the truth and living a lie is harsh too. In the end, you can never look away from the truth. As long as you live, you must face that pain. So really, what's the point of worrying so much about it? When you're lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I always averted my eyes from the truth. For my own sake. My own peace and quiet. But I could never say with confidence that I was proud of myself. In the end, I was just running away from everything. That's why I entrust this to you, Yuma.
Entrust
I wish you
what?
said that at the beginning. And then told me your hunch.
Yeah,
Save us like 4 hours. Just saying.
You signed a pact with the death
That's
god
true.
in your desire for the truth. I want to see your conviction. As long as you don't stray from exposing all truth, I believe you'll be able to face it. Cruel as it may
So
be.
as long as I am not discriminatory in my truth-seeking.
Works for
I
me.
want to see it through to the end. It's why I followed you here. In that sense, we're accomplices. If you must bring down the chief, then I will lend a hand. I won't avert my eyes any longer. I, too,
I'm glad you're saying all this, but you did legitimately try to stab me like 100 times.
And also, like, told us to our face you'd murder us.
And you did when I failed the quick time events.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I don't believe a word you say.
Because I, too, am a detective.
Vivia.
When
Now
you're
kiss.
lost, believe in your own heart. That way, even if things end up all wrong, at least you can stand proud.
I understand, Chief Yako. Thank you for everything you've done for me.
Now do we have to put it all together? No, I'm gonna kill you!
Sucker! I'm not sad at all.
Not in this cutscene, he ain't.
Nope.
Well,
I called it.
yeah.
Just saying.
You
Just
kind of
saying.
did.
Just saying.
Kind of did.
Though my, reasoning
The
was wrong.
why was not there at all.
No, but I mean, I had a lot of the other stuff figured out.
Yeah. Like? Like?
Well, how he did it. Like brute forcing the poison and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. I think the only thing I was really wrong about was that he was trying to frame Yomi, which I still think is a strong theory to have.
Really, the hardest part of this case is how they even got in there. And honestly, I'm still not even... I don't think the way he got in there and killed Dr. Huesca, and Dr. Huesca was magically looking away, and he made no sound or a scream as he got stabbed, and
Right.
like all this, like
I have heard, though, there was an actor for Lord of the Rings, I think, who was an old military guy. I forget his name. He's Count Dooku in Star Wars, if you know who I'm talking about.
No.
But basically, he said that when you get stabbed, it's like your breath is being pushed out of your body. Because in the movie he was in, one of the Lord of the Rings ones, they wanted him to get stabbed and like scream. And be like, ah, you know, when he was like, no, that's not how it works. Because he'd been, I assume, stabbed in the military. So maybe Dr. Huesca getting stabbed and just like not making much noise. I'm sure he made some noise, but not much is
Realistic.
yeah, it's not the most unreasonable thing. So I can overlook that part, but the blood on the front is still weird.
Well, yeah, the blood on the front is weird, and also, the fact that he's not facing the door.
Yeah.
What did the culprit use to get past security?
I'm a pal. I'm a pal. I'm a pal.
I'm a pal.
It's like I'm a pal.
I'm a pal.
Yeah.
Whose power was used in the panel room?
Fart Bookie.
Oh my god, that's not her name. That's so funny that you said
Fart
fart instead of
Bookie.
her name.
I love Fart Bookie.
That's so silly. Where do you come up with these funny jokes, Ethan?
My mind is crazy.
He used a knife to kill Dr. Huesca. He looks so evil. Like, I really want to know his motive. I hope we find out. Watch is just never explained. Just ever.
Like, I kind of like it when stuff like that happens. But only when it's done really right, and it usually isn't.
Well, only when it leaves room for theories. Otherwise, it's just nonsense.
Right.
If there's no reasonable reason why, then... Also, he still looks pretty dang good for being poisoned right now.
I mean, it's all inside, you know?
Who killed the culprit?
That'll be the, like, last thing, I think.
Dr. Huesca did. Death threat was sent to the Peacekeepers.
Yeah.
Like how he just has their address. He's just sending them spam mail.
Yeah, I'm more surprised they just accept a random letter as, like, truth.
Yeah. You'd think they get those all the time, death threats.
Especially if Kanai Ward's as terrible as it seems, which it is.
Yeah.
I'd send death threats once a month at least.
I send them in, like, our society, like, weekly.
Oh yeah, I love calling in bomb threats for random places.
Yeah, it's really fun watching the cops scurry over there. So Fink killed the culprit. And then... Kinda gotta sneeze.
It's always so loud. Do it quietly.
No, it's impossible.
Very cool.
Thanks, how'd you rate it?
0.
0 out of 10.
0 out of a million.
Bad sneeze. Didn't hurt my ears.
Still having fun with this part?
CEO,
Huh?
research doctor,
Her.
Oh, yeah.
and master detectives.
I'm so glad it's Yako.
She never liked him, I don't think.
I don't think she likes anyone.
She likes Yuma.
She likes Fubuki.
No, she doesn't.
She did at the end for one line.
The victim in this case is one Dr. Huesca. This incident features a sinister and meticulously detailed plot centered on the doctor.
The old geezer was holed up inside a lab at Amaterasu HQ. He was a total hermit in the critical lab with a totally overkill security system.
Oh my god.
It still
The
failed.
culprit made thorough preparations beforehand to break through that
That's
system.
why you just have a ceiling minigun. If there's one lesson to take away from all of this, ladies and gentlemen, just have a ceiling minigun. It'll work better than anything else.
Yep.
Boom killing a shut-in is hard work. The humane thing to do is to reintroduce him to society first.
Yeah, with that out of the way. Posing as a hitman, the culprit sent a death threat to the Peacekeepers, the detective agency, and the research lab.
Like, there's just money on the table.
They're probably gambling
At the same
again.
time, they
there's a short guy.
real hitman and had him infiltrate the research facility.
They spilled the beans about Gramps being in danger to lure both the peacekeepers and the detectives to the lab.
You see, the master detective's presence at the scene was an indispensable part of the plan. It was how the culprit gained access to the research facility, after all.
So do you think Yako was ever, like, a scaredy cat? Or do you think he just put on that act to make us think like, oh, Yako, he'd never do something so cruel?
You can be both, I think.
Yeah, fair.
You know?
The hitman infiltrated the lab exactly as planned. And we arrived with Makoto at the same time.
Stuff went down, blah blah blah, and Master got locked up by that Yomi guy.
This is not where that took place, but yeah.
I was rescued by Desuhiko and the culprit, who were disguised as peacekeepers.
I like how they say the culprit as if, oh, gee, who is it?
With the
I
real
wonder.
peacekeepers rushing around, the culprit took advantage of the turmoil to sneak into the lab. But after catching up with them, the power suddenly went out, separating the culprit from the rest of the group.
The blackout itself was caused by the hitman, right? And getting separated was all part of the culprit's plan.
Right. They used the blackout as an opportunity to hide in the vents in the airlock chamber.
Crazy he knew all the
Afterwards,
intricacies
we
of
headed to the
this
critical lab
still.
to check on the doctor's
And that it
condition,
none of it
just like the
changed
culprit
from the
directed
last
us.
time he found out about it. Assuming
Right.
he found out about it a long time ago.
I assume it was from
Since
that girl.
lab used a separate power
Yeah.
supply, nothing strange had happened.
His whole "the doctor's in danger" spiel was an act, huh? He made a fool of you, Master. What a dick!
But then, someone attacked the doctor while we were trying to talk with him over the intercom.
Oh no.
We had to get into the doctor's lab.
But that time, the old geezer was playing games with us. And he even tried to kill you and the others with a trap. That bastard.
And he did so by staring into the corner of the room and staying silent until someone came behind him and stabbed him 3 times.
I guess so.
He really got you there, Master.
I don't see why you're so happy about it. The doctor's sham made the case even more confusing. Even if we tried to get to the doctor, the critical lab was guarded by tight security. The only way through was by using an Amapal. The culprit rode on it by emerging from their hiding place in the airlock vent and jumping onto the robot's head.
I would fall off so quickly if this was me.
Yeah.
All aboard the Amapal Express. First stop, a shower of
And like, you don't hear a single cough in this room. Like, he just...
If it goes through your skin, then it must not make a difference.
I'm sure he just like held his breath while we were in here.
Even still.
But, yeah.
Humans can't protect
You'd think it'd get in your eyes and stuff, and you'd be like, you know.
True.
Next up,
Maybe if we weren't constantly spamming the sounds, it wouldn't
I
have
think
been
we
an issue.
were.
Yeah.
Maybe it just doesn't hurt that much. Maybe it just contracts a disease that slowly gets worse and worse and worse and worse, is more how it sounds like it works.
I assume it might be meant to like lower the person's guard. It's like, oh, that didn't do anything. You know?
Yeah. It'd be really funny if we just like failed this over and over and over again, and then he's just left here fried to a crisp.
Just
like,
give up.
oh my god, these guys suck so bad. And we just give up.
It was insta-death. But thanks to that sheltered skink, we got all the continues we could want. So we managed a perfect clear. The critical lab was breached.
Oh man.
Culprit had anticipated we would get through this way.
Yeah, I was so confused on that part.
Also, what are the arms connected to?
His head? The
But it looks
Amapal?
it looks like it's only like the edge that's barely touching it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're connected to his head for some reason.
Oh, is it? Oh, I see. That's what. Okay, never mind. I was a little confused there. I just thought it was
Yeah.
like bad design or something.
I was like, what are you confused by? But, yeah, you know that part where we're talking about how the culprit got fried in here a bunch of times, and they like freak out like, no, my god, that's horrible. I was like, why is that a big deal?
Yeah.
But it's because they must have had their suspicions then that, what if it was Yako?
They also knew they would die over and over as a result.
Oh, he didn't remember it.
The camera feed was affected when the culprit jumped on. I should have realized what was happening.
Does that one show him falling in front of it?
Yeah, I think so.
No use crying over spilt blood. On to the next thing.
I'm gonna use all these for thumbnails. Just put Yako dead as a doornail.
Oh yeah, to open the door to the doctor's lab.
One of these
Amapal had
days-
to reach out its arm and hit a switch.
You should like draw a thumbnail in this art style best you can,
Oh my god.
and make it look like a huge spoiler. Like show
Yeah.
like Yuma like turning into a dragon or like something just really ridiculous like that. And then for like the last episode, be like the truth reveal.
Well, I could do it for this one. I could take the frame of Yako sneaking up behind Dr. Huesca and make it like Fubuki instead.
Yeah, something like that. That could
That's
be
such
funny.
like clickbait.
Yeah, but I think there is like a thin line between like clickbait and then trying to
Yeah.
just do a joke,
Yeah.
you know?
And when the door opened wide enough for a person to squeeze through, the killer snuck inside.
Amapal can't follow any new commands while its arm is extended. So the culprit didn't show
He
up
looks
on
so
the
like
camera.
scary and serious.
Nice doing murder.
The culprit boom killed the old geezer using the same knife.
Yeah,
as
what
the
was he
hitman.
doing?
Yeah, this part doesn't make that much sense.
Gramps was pretty much deaf, so a backstab was easy peasy.
Well, that helps the why didn't he scream thing if he's like suffocating him.
Yeah.
So,
Then the murderer
but
tried
look
to
at the
leave
blood.
room before Amapal entered.
how's that work? Someone explain how that works to
That
me.
doesn't make any sense. Like, even if he was
The
bleed,
robot over on the way out.
He makes him look like such a ninja.
I know.
Which I guess he is a little bit.
They then went back into the airlock chamber vent?
Oh, look, there you go. He's getting weak there.
See, there's a lot of stuff it doesn't really specify with this case too. Like, do the doors lock on the way out?
Yeah, you think this would just automatically open as Yako's doing this if he approaches the door?
Is the panel chamber like?
Because on the other side of that door, Yuma and company's there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and it like unlocks automatically. It said the door's not locked at all.
Well, just the part I find interesting is the game specifies this. Like, it tells you this.
Uh-huh.
You go through with the Amapal, through the airlock chamber, through the gas chamber, and into the panel chamber, right? And the robot turns around, and it says the gas chamber's locked. And then it, like, just never tells you if it ever unlocks after that, or if the gas is still going to disperse if you go in that room after that. Or, like, do the panel chamber, if you step on one of the other things after you've gone across, will you still get zapped? Do you have to go in it in backwards order? Like, it doesn't tell you.
I would assume backwards order would work in case Huesca was trying to leave, maybe. But also, why would he? Because the poison gas would still get him.
Yeah, and also, if you're gonna leave, you just use the button.
Right.
You know? So I'm guessing Yako just stayed behind the door while we were searching and stuff. And then...
It doesn't matter.
Or not while we were searching, but while the Amapal was tipped over. And then when the Amapal hit the emergency thing, he just sprinted over to the airlock as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Which even that seems like... Well, I think this is more inferring that he could... that the door wasn't locked and he could just go into the airlock chamber before they even hit the exit button.
Regardless, I don't think it...
I think he went back through the gas a second time, honestly.
Probably.
To wait for you and the others to go by.
We entered the critical lab and found the doctor's body. The culprit used that time to get out of the vent and head for the hallway.
That was when they were found by the hitman.
Oh no.
And stabbed.
They'd already been in contact with a toxic gas, so death was inevitable. However, dying by gas would expose...
Why would he be like, here's the clue that exposed everything you just did, and throws it at him?
Yako wanted it.
Did he want it?
Yeah, that's what Vivia said, is he must have gotten the hitman to give him the photo.
Oh, okay.
So they hired the hitman to kill them, thereby concealing any involvement.
How do you just hire a hitman?
I guess it makes sense to leave a clue for Yuma.
I guess
Right.
that means the killer completely trusted in the master detective's capabilities. They knew those powers would get them close to the doctor. But why were they willing to die to hide the crime?
He stopped bleeding for this part.
I can't say for certain. Was it his pride as a detective? Did he simply not want his friends to know?
I think he did want us to know.
Whatever it may be, I'm prepared to face the truth. The culprit who murdered Dr. Huesca, and even included his own death in the plot.
He looks fine.
Yeah, he's standing up.
Yako Furio! It was you!
Poor guy.
He literally got someone to kill him, so it's like...
Yeah,
He knew what he was getting into.
Still don't know his motive yet, so I'm not going to say, poor guy. Screw your soul! He looks sad this time.
Looks kind of mischievous there. Yako, I mean.
Yeah. Well, well, well.
Kind of silly, bro.
Why'd you go and do a thing like that?
But why?
We'll find out. Maybe. In the next episode! Woo!
Bye.
Oh, is that it? Okay. Yeah, bye. No, yeah, I like this case a lot, though. It was so hard. And I feel like there are, like, a little bit... inconsistencies feels like a bit of a strong word, but you know what I mean with like the blood and like it leads you to a lot of theories you could make, but that don't actually make sense, but it's kind of the fault of the game a little bit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like with the blood thing under Dr. Huesca, and like
I know, because
leaving out certain details that would definitely change a lot of theories. And hey, I'm not saying like I would have got it if the game was better, because no, I'm stupid, okay? But no, I still think overall this was like a great case. Like it really gets you thinking. The end result in the end makes enough sense, I guess.
There are a few like times there's mysteries, and it's like
that's just all like Danganronpa and like Spike Chunsoft games. There's always that case where it's like, well, why was this detail like this?
Yeah, but that's been like happened every single case for this game.
Yeah, where I
Like,
feel
we've
like in
always had some
Danganronpa, it's like maybe one or two of the cases,
Right.
you know, and it's always like a small little detail.
I always
in the
wonder if there's
Danganronpa
like
games.
maybe a mistranslation between like departments, where it's like so there's a bunch of blood on him, and then they're like, well, we'll put some blood under him too.
So I know there's one in Danganronpa V3, and I'm not going to say what it is, like no spoilers or anything, but the like CG artists and like the writers, there was a miscommunication, so it makes you think there's like a really big clue in this one scene, but it's not.
Which one
not
was
a clue.
that?
I'm going to cut this out. But yeah, overall, I still like this case. I'd say it's probably, depending what happens now, because this chapter still has a bit to go, probably the favorite so far. I really liked the one with the girls, though. Just weirdly, I really liked it.
I honestly still think the one with the girls is my favorite.
Yeah. I thought the case for this one, I mean, we kind of had the one with the girls, like, figured out.
Yeah.
Like 90%. There was parts we didn't have yet. Whereas this one, the case was, like, harder.
Well, okay. You know what some of it is, too?
Huh?
I did not ever really care about Yako. Like, there was, like, no real emotional honestly, with any of the characters.
It's really hard for me to be like, oh no. Like, it is a cooler case than most of the others because it is someone you know and care about. And it's like, oh my god, it was Yako. You get to see cool reactions from Yuma and Vivia and even sort of Shinigami, right? And
yeah.
Whereas the other ones, it's like, it's the priest. Oh, wow.
Right. I would probably put this one as second favorite. I still like the one with the girls more.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess my biggest critique is just that, like, I don't really, honestly, any of the detectives, there's not much, like, I really care about. Like, you
just don't see him that much. I saw one person say this. Any of the Danganronpa games, there's like, what, like 15, 16 characters?
Yeah, and those are the only characters you'll ever suspect and be friends with.
Well, it's not even, I mean, yes, but that's not what I'm referring to.
Oh.
It feels like a lot of those characters get more plot and development, even though there's like 4 times as many of them. You would think a game with like 5, 6 characters, each character would get crazy amounts of like development and screen time and all this. Not really. Each one gets like a chapter, and
there's those little like side things you can look at.
They don't really develop until like now they've started to develop a little. And yeah, there is the side stuff too,
but I doubt that makes that big of a difference.
I don't think the whole game should be reliant on side content, you know?
No, I just will say, like, this will be a game at least character-wise, I'll probably think about in a year and be like, I don't even remember those guys.
What were their names again?
Right, versus, like, Danganronpa 2 and 3, I can easily be like,
I think it still has room. I mean, there's still, like, I think 2 chapters to go after this one.
They killed Yako, and I never cared much about him, honestly.
Yeah. I'm honestly, the biggest thing I'm curious about at this point is now, what's Yuma's past? What's his deal? Why are we here? Why do we have a death god?
Which I'm sure will be the new focus.
Probably the next chapter will be like,
it'll
starting to go into that.
And then the last one will be like oh my god.
Oh my god, you're number 1.
Or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, I do wish I liked the characters more. But honestly, if this was any one of the other ones, like as a stand-in, I would feel the exact same. Except if it was Desahiko, I'd feel happy. But like Halara, and I like Halara. Halara's awesome.
I'd say Vivia's alright, you know?
I liked him more when I didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, he was cooler when he was mysterious, but now he's just emo.
Yeah, now he just kind of gives me like a wimp who hid from the truth all the time.
Yeah, like he's smart and he's strong and he's like cool, and
He probably has the coolest power, I would say. I like it more than the time rewind.
It's a pretty cool power, yeah. I'd probably still take the time rewind in real life over that, but
Okay.
we can go into that discussion a different time.
Yeah, that'll be a different thing.
I get why Vivi is the fan favorite, and hey, maybe we'll see more, like, maybe he'll have huge, like, character development in the next one, and he'll not be lazy anymore and be cool. As things stand, like, right now, though, where we're at in the game, I'd probably rank, personally, I'd say probably Halara number 1.
Yeah.
Halara's just great. Fubuki I'd probably put number 2. I really liked Fubuki, but her chapter sucked, and she didn't get, like, any time to shine. Literally all she did was use her power, which is like, oh, great, you're a tall person that can reach something up high. It doesn't take intelligence or, like, willpower to do it. It's just a thing you can do.
Right.
So, yeah, haven't really seen much from her, and she didn't really seem to develop much even now. But, like, I feel like we got to see a little bit of, like, Desahiko development in this chapter and, like, Yako development in this chapter. Don't really see anything for Fubuki. Halara pretty much acted like how I expected them to. But Halara is still probably my favorite. Then I'd probably put, like, Yuma. Or no, I'd probably put, like, Shinigami, then Yuma, then Yako, then Vivia, then Desahiko. Something like that.
I would do...
Not perfect, but...
top to bottom, Halara, Fubuki, and Vivia, it's hard to say. Probably Fubuki, because she's just cooler. And then probably Vivia.
You were simping over Vivia before, now you're like, oh, whatever.
It's just, you know. But anyway, so yeah, Halara, Vivia... Or no, Halara, Now you got me all tripped up. I had it in my head.
I didn't even say it. You're the one that restarted your list.
It doesn't matter. Anyways, Halara, Fubuki, Vivia...
No, it's Halara, Vivia,
No,
Fubuki.
it's not. And then it's probably like...
Desahiko after that.
They're all just kind of at the bottom from there. Like, at that point, I don't really care.
I like Shinigami.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, Shinigami I'll put next. But then, like Yuma and Desahiko... Like, I really don't like Desahiko. But Yuma is just such a boring protagonist, if I'm going to be honest. I don't really like him as a protagonist.
It's not even that I think he's boring per se, but I'd say compared... Well, for one, I don't know why they do this. Every Spike Chunsoft game that we've played, they always do the same protagonist.
Yeah.
I mean, people will say, like, I like this protagonist more than this one. And yeah, there's slight personality differences.
I definitely... But
it's like comparing, like, blue to teal. Like, it's the same thing.
I definitely think the V3 protagonist... probably had the most
I will
spunk.
I will agree there. The fact that the protagonist of V3 has their own sprite that you can see the whole time as compared to Danganronpa 1 and 2
helps.
Where they don't and you're just a text box the whole game.
Right.
Helps a lot.
I just think the protagonist of V3 was way more interesting and probably the best protagonist of all the Spike Chunsoft games so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So,
yeah, the thing
especially
with Yuma,
compared to Yuma. Yuma's just so boring.
Well, Yuma doesn't even have that different of a personality than any of them, really. I like parts of his more, I like parts of his less. It's just that he doesn't get anywhere to shine. Like, the Danganronpa protagonists, they have to put together this mystery, and yes, they have help from, like, other characters.
Well, and the way they interact...
Yuma, literally, he gets the ultimate cheat code, which is the mystery labyrinth, which I get is, like, the point, is that that's the reason he got a death god, is to help him solve mysteries. But it doesn't feel satisfying, like, oh, I figured it out. How'd you figure it out? Well, I went through the door that said the answer.
Yeah, and also the interactions between the main characters and the side characters, or the protagonist and the other tagonist.
The other antagonists.
The Danganronpa games was so much better compared to how they interact here. I don't know. I like Raincode, but you'll never hear me say more than that. It's alright, I like it.
Fair enough.
It's like the same way I like McDonald's fries. It's like, they're okay. They're not my favorite, and I definitely won't pick them out of like the dozens of other fries. But they work.
Aren't McDonald's like known for their fries?
See, I've heard it both ways. I honestly think the best
it probably
fries...
just depends which one you go to.
Yeah, because they're all different. Like, the KFC here sucks. But I've heard KFCs in other places are great.
Yeah.
But the best fry, unequivocally, is Arby's curly fries. And I will not see any argument about this.
You know, usually your takes on food are terrible.
I'm right.
I think I can agree with you there.
Or Hardee's. But I'm pretty sure Hardee's and Arby's use, like, the exact same type of curly fries. I've, like, never noticed the difference.
Well, I think curly fries are just better than fries. Like,
well, yeah, there's just so much more to them.
They're
Honestly,
like crispier. They have a better flavor.
Makes me want to get Arby's on the way home, honestly. Now that we're talking about this. Sponsored by Arby's.
Sponsored by Arby's.
But...
Well, what were we saying? Yeah, I don't think Yuma really gets any time to shine where the other protagonists do. Because him solving a mystery doesn't feel half as...
Well, it's always forgotten, too.
Satisfying. Yeah, it's always forgotten by the other characters, so no other character is like, oh my god, Yuma's so smart.
Even in the Mystery Labyrinth, they don't think that, and that's when they're watching it.
Yeah, it's kind of...
You know?
Like, hey, I'm dumb too. I had no idea what was going on in this case. But yeah, just compared to some of the other protagonists, I still like him. I mean, he's cool, but he's just...
I'm just like...
Can't they write a protagonist with a personality for once?
Yeah, I agree.
Like, imagine if Warana was the protagonist of this game. It'd be so cool.
Warren is probably still my favorite character.
I loved Warana.
Warana was so much
I'd put her above Vivian in a heartbeat.
I'd probably put her above Halara, maybe. Just because it does seem like I almost wonder if they brought in, like, different writers for that chapter.
You know, here's the problem.
Okay.
With this game, right? The more you learn about the characters, the less you like them.
Yes!
So it's like the ones on the train in the very beginning. I loved those guys.
I needed time
I
for them.
loved Aphex. I loved Poochie. Zilch was cool. The mysterious old man was interesting. What was the other one's name? Melamy Goldmine. If she was chill.
If we got an extra chapter with them, I definitely would have, like, loved them to death.
Yeah, if they killed them, like, farther into the game, or, like, kept them and had some of them survive.
Right.
And then... Like, maybe just kill off, like, one of them and have it be Zilch, right? Keep the rest of them and then have them kill or be killed further into the game.
There's so many hypotheticals. Like,
there'd be more, like, emotion there of them dying.
But something I was going to say is I almost wonder if it was, like, a different writing team or, like, a dude got fired right at the end of chapter 3, 2, whichever one it was with the school. But
I don't know if that's really... I mean, yeah, maybe.
It just felt so much more quality. And also, I think whoever... Because I am kind of wondering that theory more if someone got fired or quit. Because it almost does kind of seem like they realized that Desuhiko needs to take the back seat a lot, like he did. Like, he's literally, like, in a room sick the whole time.
Kinda.
Like, he was gone for most of that chapter, you know, when it came to the actually cool stuff.
Yeah.
So... I don't know. Whoever was the brain between chapter 2, I think he should have wrote the entire game. You definitely should have been given complete creative control.
Fair enough. I don't know, like, how they do the writing situation for games like this.
If you are the same person, you fell off.
You fell off big time.
No, because I know Dying Light 2 had that. Because they had a writer, they had, like, the Fallout New Vegas writer, which Fallout New Vegas is considered very well written.
Uh-huh.
You know? But then I think there was some allegations or something happened where the dude he left the project. Which, if you've played Dying Light 2, the writing does kind of drop at a certain point. Like, there's a very clear, like, oh, this isn't that good anymore.
You know, I always get, like, amazed a little bit. And this is going to sound incredibly dumb. Right? This is going to sound stupid, but I'm always amazed. I'm not even necessarily talking about this game, maybe with some of the chapters, like especially chapter 3.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Like, other games as well, and like just other things I've seen. I am so surprised how you write something so unentertaining.
Right.
Like I'm not a writing genius. I mean, English was my best class, and I wrote some bangers, just saying.
I will say I had the same thing going on. I was considered the best writer in the whole school district. No, that's not true. I was told my writings were really good.
Hey,
so
when we did online schooling, I wrote this little story about it being like the end of the world and like this phantom going and piecing together what happened.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like by touching things, he like gets memories of the past and like what occurred in these different spots as he's like traveling through this city. you know, kind of piecing the mystery together. It was a cute little short story, right? And my teacher, she left a comment. She was like, "You should be an author one day." And I was like, "Thank you."
We had to write a play for something.
Oh yeah, my play wasn't very good.
My play was the most dog crap thing ever. I remember, like,
I didn't like the play unit.
like, normally I don't really, like, feel much, wow, this was really good, or wow, this was really terrible. There was, like, genuine shame when I finished writing that and submitted it. I was like, this is just so bad.
What was it about?
It was like some fantasy thing that, like, I think I copied an idea from. It just wasn't good. Like,
mine was like the Lorax movie, kinda.
Oh,
so
okay.
It was like Victorian era London, and there was like this little boy that ran into like a mechanical spider. It was like kind of steampunkish a little bit, and they had to like save, because it's like all industrial revolutionary-ish, and they like run into a couple other characters, kind of like Wizard of Oz style. And then they go and save the world by... I don't even remember what happened at the end, honestly. I don't know what the conclusion was, but they needed to save the planet from the pollution.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I wasn't that proud of it. I was much more proud of the other one I said.
I'd like to get into writing more, but honestly, between, like, working on videos, and sometimes I like to, like, mess around with making music, you know? It's just not the time for it.
I like working on one thing that's like kind of writing related, but I never do the writing side of it. I always do the art side of it.
Right, yeah, it's like a big story idea.
So I'm like...
But,
and it's the best story ever told, by the way.
According to him.
I've not written it yet.
It's one of those things where it's like, Gage, I know you have it all planned out in your head, and whenever you explain it to me, it's like interesting, but it's always kind of jumbled.
Like, what are you talking about right now?
Right, you'll be like, so there's this character, and then there's this happen. It's like, it sounds like the makings of like a very good anime or TV show or whatever.
Oh my gosh, stop going idle.
But anyways, I'm not a fan of the writing so much. And even this chapter, now that I'm finished with it, I'm kind of just like shrugging. Like, okay.
Yeah, it did start off really good, I think. But
I'm just like, whatever. Yuma cried too much.
I mean, we haven't seen the conclusion yet, though, either. Like, there could be, like, a super cool reason that even goes and explains some of the plot holes with this.
That did happen with Chapter 2. The way they came together and were like, we were pretending the whole time. That was very sweet.
Yeah, so maybe you could go and say, like, the most poetic thing ever right now. Well, I still like Yako as, like, a character. I'd put him above, like a lot of people, but that's probably because we haven't seen as much of his character. That seems to kind of be the trend, is the less I've seen the characters in this game, I like him a little more.
Well, anyways, this is an hour and 20 minutes almost, so.
You act like that's a you problem. That's a me problem.
I'm just trying to be considerate. But
oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
So bye, I guess.
Awkward. No, let's have an awkward silence. I'm biting my lip.
Can you just let it be awkward silence for like a good 5 minutes and then just end the episode so they think there's something at the end and there isn't?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You could just loop the footage, you know? We don't have to actually
No, we can sit here.
Oh, okay. We'll sit here.
Just consider this like the break between episodes.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah. What you reading?
Edible wild plants.
Oh, okay.
Wild foods, from dirt to plate.
Have you learned anything?
No, I haven't read this very much. I saw this thing about custom making your own... This is a little too interesting to say, so I'm just not going to continue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Okay, end the episode.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.
If you sat through that, good on you.
Yeah.